In this regard, they should, normally people have a different concept about these things, because the ulama have not told them properly what it would be, and they don't concentrate on the meaning of the Quran themselves. But every believer should do it himself. There are certain things which are completely lacking from the description of Jannah. No children are mentioned at all, that they will be born there. If there is sex, it should have been mentioned as well. No sex is mentioned whatsoever. So, no children, no sex, so what are the who for? This is the question. The answer to this I am going to come to give you now. The fact is that unless we understand the pleasure in this world, we will not be able to understand the pleasure of the hereafter. The pleasure does not lie in anything material. It only lies in the waves it sends back, or pulses it sends back in electrical form to the mind. When we eat something, the food remains outside. It touches the tongue. Nothing of that food is transferred to the brain who feels the pleasure. What the brain receives is just a message. And that message is not related there as much to the food as to its own desire to have something. So, some people don't like prawns. They hate the smell of prawns. So, prawns themselves don't mean anything. Only those who love prawns, the message is sent to the brain this much, that sort of craving your mind has already been provided. And it's the information which pleases. And love also is simply an information. Hatred again is simply an information. If you you sit in company of someone you love, what do you receive? No physical thing, but the pleasure of being close to somebody is in response to the desire of the mind to have that something. So when the desires are fulfilled, it's immaterial whatever is the form of the fulfillment. So that is why the Holy Quran explains the philosophy of Jannah. وَلَكُمْ فِيهَا مَا تَشْتَهِي أَنفُسُكُمْ وَلَكُمْ فِيهَا مَا تَدَّعُونَ. Whatever you desire, you will get, and that is the pleasure. So some people here in the West, they are very sensual-minded. The same is not true of the East. But here they give open-voiced, open, expression to what they feel. In the East we hide it, and it's more hypocritical attitude in the East. But here, even a small girl can stand up and say, look here, will there be sex in Jannah? Not. So my answer to them is, what do you think sex is? It's only, in fact, a slow development, evolutionary development of desire of man to live forever. And that desire was fulfilled by God in the form of reproduction. No animal could live forever, but through reproduction he saw himself projected into future. Now this pleasure was the original thing. Buds of all the senses, they were created because of this pleasure. And they took a form of a physical bud, so the sensation is sent, look here, this is your desire which is now being fulfilled. There is a likelihood of your being eternalized. Now, every time it is not fulfilled. So God out of blessing has created this bud system. The glands, the buds, etc. They send the message to the mind that your desire to live forever is provided in the form of this machinery. And now it would be possible now, it would be possible then. even those who are sterile, they are not deprived of this opportunity. But what reaches the brain? What reaches the brain through that? Anything. Nothing except the pulses. And those pulses reach the centers. So in the final analysis, the player is pulse, vibration, amwaj, which reach the brain. Now some people say, what is the player of love of God and all in this? Will we not be bored? Of course not. If they have trained themselves to love God and they have acquired that taste, then when he comes closer, the sensation which it will create would be far more than any beloved who comes closer to you after long separation. That sensation is far more powerful than the sensation of eating food or sleeping or anything you call it, or hearing music. If you are doing anything and someone you have been missing for ages suddenly appears, you'll care a hoot for everything else. You'll throw them away and just rush madly to the beloved one. So that sensation is the most powerful sensation of love. That is why the Holy Prophet ﷺ taught us this, to prepare us for Jannah. Allahumma rzuqni hubba man ahabbaka wa hubba man yuhibbuni ilayka wa hubba man ahbabta biha wa waj'al hubbaka ahabba ilayya min al-ma'il baride, and other words of the same nature. This is a training for the players of the Nomai Jannah. The greatest player would be nearness of God. And because God has created this system of seeking pleasure from small ordinary things, why don't they have faith in Allah that they'll create hundreds, thousands of times more pleasure in the real things which are noble and which are worthy of pleasure? So this carnal element is not important anymore. After we die, what is important is that we must have pleasure. For this we live here on earth. Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Even when we go to Goyim, it's pleasure. When we talk to our children, it's pleasure. When we meet for companions, pleasure. Eat just for the sake of pleasure. Sleep for the sake of pleasure. Last word for happiness is one single word. And these are different means. So there, the spiritual world, in spiritual world, it is not essential that you gain happiness only through the means of carnal things you are left behind. No need of no need of marriage, anything. Just companionship of high quality would send pulses into you so powerful that life would become an eternal joy. Right?